Okay, welcome to the next invention. Here's the problem. Let's get right to it. We have a long, narrow garden that needs to get water. I don't like to bury pipe underground because then you have to take it up again, you know, drip tubes, things like that. I don't go for that. So the other issue is we put the fence up, and now the irrigation from the lawn doesn't hit the garden, which is again problematic. So how to get water in here in a very narrow space? Well, what we're going to end up doing is using some hurricane mist heads, which look like this. They're cheap. You get them online. They're, I don't know, 55 cents a piece, something like that. We're going to come off of the water line that feeds this. We're going to bring it inside. We're going to install piping along here with the mist heads coming out, and we'll put it on a timer, which will be located over there. And as an added bonus, we're going to connect it to the house network so that from any place on earth you can water your rhubarb and your asparagus and your corn, because as you know, that's very important. So we'll just give you the lay of the land, and then we'll get started. So first order of business is the water comes out of the house right over here. All right, so there's 1/2-inch pecks coming out of the house. What it does is it goes underneath the lawn here, underneath the grape arbor, over to the wash table that there's another video of, and it tees off, and it actually comes right through here and goes right behind this split rail fence. So we're going to dig it up right there, put a T in it, put that underneath the fence, bring it up, put a hose bib on it, and then attach a timer to that. And then we'll get started doing the misting nozzles, and I'll tell you more about those a little bit later. But first, let's tap into this water line so that we can get a hose bib on it and get access inside this garden. Okay, found the pipe. It's not very deep. We blow this out every fall. That's maybe a shovel width, maybe 12 inches deep. And there's never any water in it in the wintertime. So we dug underneath this wire over inside the perimeter of the fence, put that upright on there. So now we'll splice into that. We got the water turned off. We'll splice into that just so we can get the water supply inside the perimeter of the fence. Once we get that hose bib on there, then I'll come back and show you what we did, and then we'll go on to phase 2. Okay, so now we're tied into the water line. So what we did was, as you will recall, we tapped in here, brought it underneath the fence, I put a T on it, brought it up, and now I just finished, so the hose timer's on, the valve is on, and we just finished connecting the hose timer to the network. You can see that it's already set to a schedule that 6:10 on odd numbered days. It's going to come on for 5 minutes. So there's no leaks. We're all tested and set up there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start in this corner, and we're going to put we're going to use 1/2-inch PVC and go all the way down. We're going to drop down underneath where the gate comes in, come back up, and go the rest of the way. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections, about 8 feet long. We'll tie those in together. So we're going to get started on that, and when I get that done, then I'll show you what that looks like, and we'll talk about the nozzles and the testing that we did there. All right, so we'll be back as soon as we get some of this PVC in. All right, so all the PVC has been run. We left the end cap off down there so that we can turn it on and flush out any dirt that's in there. So we went around all the posts. This one goes down about as far as we can get it to go down. That's plenty far. The tiller's not going to hit that. And then it goes back over here, where what we're going to do is we're going to hook this up with a length of garden hose. We're going to customize a connection here, so we can take this off and blow all this out in the fall. So we'll do that. We'll blow it out. We'll test it, make sure we're not leaking. And then when we come back, we'll talk about the nozzles and how we're going to do those. All right, we're back. So it's all been turned on, pressure tested, doesn't leak. So we're all ready to put the heads in. This is what we're going to be using. So, as I said at the beginning, these things are about 55 cents a piece. You can find them online. And here's what you want to do, I think, if you're going to use these. They're designed to work on a certain gallons per minute or a certain PSI. And the website says that they're good at, 40 PSI. That's the max rating. So you want to get one of these oil-filled pressure gauges. When we hooked it up to this hose bib here last year, we built this test rig. Now this is 3/4 inch PVC, but we built this test rig and we're getting 60 PSI. We just did it over there also, and that's 60 PSI at that faucet also. So the idea was, hopefully these things don't blow out of the PVC. So how they install, you can see this. I don't know whether that's going to focus or not. You can see that it's threaded. And you drill your holes, and then you use a tap, and you thread it. I just put pipe dope on them, on these, and threaded them in, hand tight. And it's amazing. It looks a lot like your supermarket does, in the produce section. You know what I'm talking about? So let me turn this on. I'll show you what I mean. This is hopefully what it's going to look like. You can see how those do. Those ones at the end are a little different, I think, than these ones, than the three up here. But anyway, that's what it does. That's what we want in here. And that's what we're going to try and achieve all the way down this garden. You can see that's about a at 60 psi. The calculations are that it'll be 15 gallons per hour, or 1/4 gallon per minute. So the next step is to drill some holes, tap them, screw some of these guys in, and see what happens. I think what we're going to do is do one per section, make sure that our pressure is fine, and then we'll turn it on, test it, see how it looks. Okay? Okay, now we put all of the little mist heads in. As you can see, we ended up dividing this up. We put one every 22 inches or so. So with a 5/32 drill bit and a 10/24 tap, you just tap the holes, put a little pipe dope on the heads, and then screw them in. We go, it's just about 50 feet. You can see where it goes down underneath the gate, and then comes back up on the other side and goes all the way down to the end. So let's turn it on and see what it does. You see that? 140 micron water droplets at about 0.2 gallon per minute per nozzle. And they should, at about 40 psi, they should hit 6 feet away, which that's about what this garden is depth-wise from front to back. You can see if there's any kind of breeze, it blows it all over the place. But it looks pretty good. It looks cool. And, as I said, this hose timer is connected to the network in the house. So when you're visiting the in-laws in Poughkeepsie, you can turn on your your irrigation from your phone. So now we can plant the corn in here. The rhubarb will be happy because it'll get a drink. The asparagus down at the other end. And this worked out pretty good. I angled these heads down, I guess maybe 40 degrees, maybe a little less. And some of them we need to adjust. This one here, I ain't right. So we're gonna have to take a look at that guy, see what his problem is. But all in all, we're getting the same spread all the way down. And there you have it. There's the project.